Post camera rolling in 3, 2.
Hello once again and welcome to another edition of African Stars Club Legends. Well, in today's edition, we're joined by Dr. Dieter Bittmann. Welcome, Dieter. Welcome to Namibia. And for those who probably don't know him or have never heard anything about him, he's the man who laid the foundation for the unavoidable introduction of mixed race football, multiracial football. He came to Namibia as a chemistry teacher for the German school, DHBS.
DHBS, yeah.
Yes, and then he started coaching African Stars, and obviously his start was not a bed of roses. There were some issues, racial issues, where the authorities always sent him back to Germany because he was going to the township to coach African Stars.
Kadatura.
Kadatura, yes. Can you just take us through that journey, please?
Yeah, okay. Thank you for welcoming me. I'm glad to be here in my second home in Windhoek in Namibia. And it's a long story to become the coach of African Stars. I must go some months back because I was sent to Nigeria, to Lagos, to be the football coach of Nigeria. And Nigeria wanted to have help from the German authorities. And they wanted to make a sports camp with a coach for swimming, boxing, athletics, and football. Football coach that's what I was to be in Nigeria. But 2 weeks before the football project in Namibia started, they stopped it, and Nigeria authorities said, okay, we don't want to have support from Western Europe and from Eastern Europe. We want to have a neutral land such as Sweden, Switzerland, or Yugoslavia. Then they took Yugoslavia, and the football project for me was down. And then I said, I want to go to foreign countries. Then I tried to be as a teacher, to come here as a teacher. Then I got 5 or 6 opportunities from Kobe in Japan, in Hong Kong, in South America, like Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, and Montevideo, where I wanted to go with my wife because our former teacher was the headmaster of the German school. And then came, at last, Namibia, offer to be teacher, chemistry teacher here in Namibia, in Windhoek, at the Deutsche Höhere Privatschule, DHBS. And I said, oh, the opportunity is good. Then I signed the contract 75 with the DHBS. And then the authorities in Germany, education authorities, sent me down to Windhoek with my family. In January 76, 21st of January, first time I put my feet on Southwest African ground. Yeah, and then I was here, teacher, and played football with my students from the DHBS, and they said to me, hey, Mr. Dieter, Mr. Bittmann, won't you join us? We are playing for Wanderers, second league. So
yeah, which was Talpark, then they became Wanderers.
That's right, yeah. And then I said, okay, why not? And there were a lot of DHBS players who played with me, Hartmut Rodenbold and the Eline brothers and Eline father, and me.
Bobby and
Bob, that's right, Bobby, yeah. And then I started, and then we had a tournament in Okahandja, and then we won this tournament. The final was against SKW, and we beat them 7-1. I scored 3 or 4 goals, and then everybody knows me from the white side. Okay, this is one story, one line. The other line is, I got a telephone call in August 76 from the ministry, from the embassy in Pretoria. Aren't you the Nigeria Bittmann? I said, what do you mean, Nigeria? Yeah, you wanted to be coach in Nigeria, to coach black football players. I said, yes, that's me. We have now an opportunity to send you to Kadatura. There is a team called African Stars. Are you interested in? I said, okay, why not? Then I had written down in my diary, I had a meeting on the 12th of August 1976 with Mbai, Jombe, and Kaharongo at the Kalahari Sands Hotel.
Yeah, that was Amos Chombe and Quirica Oromo.
That's right, that's right. And the same week I was chosen as under 16 football coach of the Southwest Africa school side. This was 76, yeah, okay. Then I started, first time when I was in Katatura was on the 16th of August. And my first training session was on the 19th of August 76 in Katatura. I couldn't believe what this was not what you can't play football on sand and stones. Then I let all the players collect the big stones and put them on one place and then 77 meter apart the other stone. And then on the other side, same. This was a goal. And then we started to play. And then they played like children, like a herd of wasps against each other. So no, okay. That's when we have to start to play real football. And then I was in the Döbra with Hans Wilhelm for a weekend, and we practiced there. And I changed now the system for African Stars from English system kick and rush. I changed it to 4-3-4, also 4 defenders, 3 midfield players, and 3 strikers, goalkeeper as well. And there we started our training session in Döbra. Luckywise, 1 month later, there was Dave's Furniture Cup
Yes.
in Katatura.
Yes, I remember very well.
You remember, yeah? And I was the only white there. I was the coach, and we started with a 4-3-3 system. And we played in the final Black Africa. And Oscar Mengo was sent off 20 minutes before the final because of arguing with the referee. So we played only with 10 players. And we won. We beat them 4-2, and then we were champion of the black football players in Namibia. And then coaching under 16, coaching DHBS, all whites, and all blacks in Katatura. I said, no, it's not my intention. I want to play them together. How can I handle this? Yeah, and then
You didn't want to keep them separately.
yeah, okay. We have to have championships for the blacks and for the whites. Yeah, and so I don't like this. We have to improve. You can't improve if you're playing always Ramblers against SKW against DDS, and so on, and we playing Black Africa, Orlando Pirate Citizens. We must something. I have to do something. And then I thought, why not playing my white DHBS team against the African Stars?
And you were coaching both teams.
Oh, I was coach of both, and then I asked my white players, DHBS players, do you want to play against black people? Yes, why not, Mr. Wittmann? And then I asked Oscar Mengo and Karongo and everybody, and Ben Naubeb, do you want to play against a white team? Oh yes, why not? Okay, and I was coach and referee of both teams. I said, okay, we play in Augustineum, and then this day, you won't believe, it was the 10th of February 1977. It was pouring. It was not raining. It was raining cats and dogs. It was pouring down. You can't believe. Then we have to switch from the ground,
the gravel field to the grass field, the rugby field.
Yeah, to the rugby field. There was rugby field was better. Yeah,
and
then we played.
Grass on there.
Yeah, there was grass. Yeah, and then we played against each other. And as I told both teams, if I will hear one word of
racism
or insultant, I will stop the game. It was a smooth game. By the way, African Stars won 3-0, and my students from DHB said, hey, they are so fast, they are so quick, they are so tricky, you can't believe it. And this is the first time they played against black players. And in my school yearbook, there was, I was called football professor Wittmann, yeah, because I arranged this game. And as I haven't told you, I wasn't allowed to go to Katatura on my own. I have to
be escorted and then go through the
escorted to the bar.
You have to get special permission.
Special permission for every day. And then I said, no, I won't go 3 or 4 times to the authorities to get the special permits to go to Katatura. And then I got a yearly permit, and then everybody knows my car. white and blue. Mr. Dieter, hello, Mr. Dieter, you're here again. And nobody have stones on my car.
Dita, on the same subject, I think there was an issue of the authorities at the time was Louis Pinar,
Yeah.
where they wanted to send you back
Yeah.
because, and then came the issue, there was a technicality in your contract that you can coach non-Europeans.
Yeah,
Remember that?
that's a very important
Yes.
important sentence.
Yeah.
I had a contract to coach, to train other people here in Namibia, and the
They did
contract-
not use the word black, it was
Yeah.
non-European, which can
No,
apply to white
yeah,
people
yeah.
of African origin. And,
And as you know, in the apartheid systems, there was the word black was not in.
Yeah.
No, it's non-whites, non-Europeans, nie blankes. Yeah. All the same. And then I said, the German foreign minister, Mr. Genscher, has signed the contract with me that I am allowed to have cultural work with non-whites. Non-whites. That's you. Yeah. And that was the thing that Cosi Pretorius couldn't change. And then they left me in the country. Otherwise, they would have sent me directly back to Germany because it was illegal to coach blacks and as a white man.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
And otherwise, how was the cultural difference? I mean, you're coming from Germany. I've been to Germany. I mean, the culture is the same. The food is the same. I mean, you don't really feel that you're in a foreign country. So how was the feeling when you came to Namibia? In terms of culture?
I was very young.
Language is a
Yeah, but
really
you see, I
problem.
was very young and I didn't fear anything. I was looking forward. I'm always looking forward. As a teacher, I'm looking forward. As a pedagogic teacher, I have to look forward. How can you improve the school system? How can you improve the football? How can you improve Namibia and Southwest Africa former days? How can you improve football in general? So I thought, you can't play blacks against blacks and blacks against blacks and whites against whites and whites against. You must have opportunity to play against each other. And then from this 10th of February 77, Namibia, South Africa played multiracial league. And in
No, before we get that, before we go to that, you coming now from a different setup, you come to coach African Stars.
Yeah.
And most of, let's say, all these players, they never went through proper development structures. So, but although they had the talent, so what were the differences that you probably found, I mean, to train them, to change their mindset of how to play football?
Yeah, really.
Did you have any challenges?
It was very hard for me because first of all I couldn't speak Afrikaans, and
The language
and
barrier.
English really said, you with your broken English, nobody understands you. But Willy understood me, and then he was the man on the field, on the pitch, who said what I want to have. 4-3-3 system, for example, and so on, and throw in and indirect and direct free kicks, and Willy helped me very, very much. Willy Vrieder, he came to us.
Yeah.
He was from Cape Town, you know.
I remember.
And then I found out this was a defender, this was a midfield player, this was a keeper, and then I have to, and I didn't remember the names and the face, and after half a year so I know everybody, and they trust in me because all what I have done with them, it was successfully.
Oh, there was talent. There was talent in the team.
Yeah. And so, you know, I can tell you, we had, for example, a good keeper, we had good defenders. Willy Vrieder, midfield, we had the strongest midfield in those days. It was Willy Vrieder, Oscar Mengo, Willy Vrieder, Oscar Mengo, Tokolo, and Toto. He came from
the DRC.
Yeah,
He was a refugee.
yeah, he was a refugee. Yeah. He scored the second goal
Against
final.
Rangers in the Mainstay Cup final.
Yeah, that's right. No, it was very interesting because I have to learn how to speak, to talk to you, to talk to them, to talk to Oscar. And they said, Oscar, we are a team. You can't play for your own. You must pass the ball. Oh, Mr. Dieter, when I pass the ball, I won't get it back. And said, no, we have to train 1-2 to give the whole game a system. And then I said also to George, the right defender George, when we are attacking.
Yeah.
Then you must run on the
Overlap,
right hand
overlap,
side.
yeah.
So we are not even three strikers, so we are four
four
strikers.
strikers.
And if the other teams, they didn't recognize it at the beginning, but then we were always one player more than we should to have. We were, instead of three, we were four.
We have numbers there.
Yeah, okay. And that was very interesting. And then they trusted in me, what I told them. And well, it was we were very successful. We won the cup. You remember it was
the league title, the national
first the league title against
both finals were against Remlers.
we at the last game we drew 2-2. Whereas Remlers, and we were league champion. And then came the final. The final was on the.
What actually happened? We played in the CFA league, and Remlers won that CFA league,
Yeah.
and then Stars was runner-up. Now from each and every region they took two teams.
Yeah, from the north and from the coast.
Yeah, and then African Stars won the national playoffs, also
Yeah,
teams of the national league.
Yeah.
With Remlers 4-3
Yeah.
in the final. And then 2 weeks later,
Yeah.
you played in a Wednesday Cup final.
Yeah.
You beat Remlers 2-0.
Yeah.
Goals from Oscar
But
Mango
bef-
and Doda.
Yeah, no, but before we had to beat Black Morocco from the north, 3-1.
No, that was another final.
No.
You're talking about the semi-final.
It's just one
was
of
the
the semi-final.
semi-final.
And then we beat Sparta, although 3-1.
Yes.
Then we were leader of the Block A.
Exactly.
And Remlers was leader of the Block B. And then we
Exactly.
meet in the final. And then the final we won 2-0. And Oscar scored in the 75th minute the 1-0. And Toto with a header cross from the right and the header directly into the goal. And then we were winner. It was the first time a multiracial league in Namibia had a final between blacks and whites. And we the blacks, we won 2-0. And now everybody knows African Stars is a very strong team. And when I was national coach, I had about 4 or 5 players in the team when we were in East London in 1980.
Now, talking about the national team with
Yeah.
coach, I picked up that when the players were selected, there was kind of players were identified. Damara, so and so is a Damara, the other one Herrero. But the white players were not like this is German or Afrikaans or Portuguese. I mean,
you know what? When I was elected as national coach for South Africa, I was with my wife in Honolulu in Hawaii. I got a telex, and they congratulated me and said, "Oh no, wait! I must ask my schoolmaster and the German school board." And they allowed me when I was back from Hawaii. And then I said, "Okay, now you elected me as the national coach. Then I will have some trials. A trial here in the center of Namibia." I was with my school bus in the north, in Tsumeb. There we had some trials. And then I was at the coast in Swakopmund and in Walfish Bay, where we had also some trials. And then from all these 3 or 4 trials I had together, I collected the teams. Not mention if you are black or white, or if you are green, or if you are Ovambo, Herero, Damara, or Nama. So at least I had 7 different ethnical groups in my national side, and we were very successful in East London. The first 2 games we won 1-0, and then we were lock leader. But afterwards, the other teams from South Africa were stronger. But this was very interesting for me to go up to the north and to the coast and to pick up the different players. Not mention which colors they are, which confessions they are. They have to show me how talented they are. And that was very important for me. And everybody accepted this system with the trials and collecting the 18 or 20 players for East London.
At the beginning of the league, I remember the match against Remlers at the Windhoek Showground. The African Stars players had a little bit of difficulties in understanding the offside rule.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember, it was also very interesting for me because there was no good referee here in Southwest Africa.
I wait, I think you
Smithy.
Dave Brownie and
Smithy
and Big Lover was also.
He was the final. He was the final as a referee. But whenever there was a very big game, black against white or whites against whites, they asked me, Dieter, can you be the referee, because our refs in Namibia, they aren't so good.
They were not
So
too understanding.
it was very interesting for me, because I have to whistle, to blow against my own team, the African Stars. So it was tension for me. Don't make a mistake, otherwise they would say, African Stars coach and referee. So, but I liked this, and then I made also some seminars for referees to give them the basics, how to make a throw in, to free kick, and offside. And some 2 years I played international, like Belgium, with offside rules. And I told them, when they are attacking Willy Rieder has, and when I say Bitte, this was running out, and they are all offside. And then on the other hand, Black Africa, for example, or SKW or Ramblers, they want also to have the offside rules. And then I said to Willy, if you've got the ball and they are running out, then you chop the ball over them, and then you run alone, and then nobody's offside, and you can, then the other ones can run. And that was offside rule. It was also very interesting, and then accepted my system, 4-3-3, and the offside rules. Yeah.
Well, 2 Mainstay Cup in the back, National League title, but that was the only year that when we played the National League title, then they went to Central and then Western. So, but the first year it was national playoffs.
Yeah.
But then they've done away with that.
Yeah.
But you enjoy enough success. I think you also won the Matador Cup. You won the Matador Cup as well. What was the secret behind African Stars? Because they were playing totally different football from all the other teams.
You see, you also have printed in your booklet, we played the one touch. When I was in Kadatura and in Kommerstal, when we trained, and I tell them, okay, we start to play football 10 against 10, only 3 touches. Okay, that worked. You got the ball, you work with the ball, and then you pass the ball. Then I said, only 2 touches. Oh, Mr. Dieter, we have to run. Yeah, of course you have to run. We have to play football, you're not playing chess. Okay, and then at least I said, only 1 touch. And after 20 minutes, they are down. Yeah, they have to run and run and run, because only 1 touch, you must look here. Where's one free position? There, or there. And then you have, in your mind, you have to keep up in your mind, where is your player you're playing with. So they have to look and have the intention where he is running to. And that's where the 1 touch, this was one of the secrets. The other one was offside. And as I told you, we were also in Döbra by Hans Wilhelm. And then when we had a big game, every time I sent them from Friday to Sunday to Döbra, and the wives have to bring the food. And then we were all together, and then we practice with the long distance, the crosses, the corner kick, and offside rules, and everything we tried there. And it was also, and Hans Wilhelm, he was a supporter of African Stars. Hans Wilhelm, he also studied in Germany, and he made his football degree in Stuttgart, I think.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And he's a good friend of mine, and he often was invited by me at home. Because if you were successful, then everybody trusts in you. And we were successful, and they wanted to be successful. Yeah? They want to go forward and to play the ball. And it is a team play. It's not a single play like tennis or what. You have to play with another. Yeah.
Now, you coming from a different environment, I mean, obviously, Germany, they were more advanced. Was it easy for the players to buy into your philosophy, your football philosophy? Or did you have some challenges?
Yeah, but as I told you, if you are successful, everybody trusts in you. We were successful. Yeah, it was the first black final with the Dave's Furniture Cup, and then everybody trusted me. And I have also meetings at my home, at Oscar Mengo's home, and Clemens Kapoor's home. He was a supporter, Clemens Kapoor. And he was shot, you remember, 78 and on Easter Monday, and we were very often with him. And then we have a team talk after the training session, after the game. So we talk to each other and say to him, you made this fault, you made this fault, and it stays with us.
Analyze the games, yeah.
It stays only with us, nothing coming outside. So it was also afterwards, yeah, the system to talk to them. And then the wives were bringing something to eat, and so sometimes I came home late night at 11 or 12 o'clock. And my wife said, "Where have you been?" "Oh, we have a team talk with African Stars." "Where?" "And in Kadatura." "Where else?" Yeah, and this was also a point that we were together after the game or after the training sessions. That also made a team. This is a team. We had a team of about 15 or 20 players, and nobody was
Unhappy.
unhappy. Yeah, everybody was happy, and if you play, and then the other one is playing, then I changed it, and everybody wanted to play, and said, "Okay, we must train, and you must show me in the training session what you can do, penalty shooting, for example, or indirect free kick or throw in, and small things. But if you have small things together for about 90 minutes, then it is added, and you will be successful automatically. And the other one's running against the wall." And yeah, it was interesting. And then I got the mentality of the blacks, of Oscar, of Willie, of Toto, and everybody. Of Chiba was a very good keeper, just on the line, but he can't go out of the box. But he was good on the line. Chiba, our keeper. Also, he was also national team. He saved a lot of balls, but the penalty box was not his area. He was just on the line. So, for example, so I talked to him, "Chiba, you must come out, make use of the whole box area." "Oh, Mr. Dieter is so strenuous." You run back and forth. "Oh, Chiba, you can't stand on your place. You must run back and
Oh, you
forth."
control the ball.
Yeah,
Be
the
in
whole-
charge of the ball.
That's right. Like Manuel Neuer is doing now. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you had a great bunch of players. Are there any specific players that you can single out as having formed the spine of the team?
Yeah, it's unless it's of course it was Oscar Mengo as a midfield. Yeah, Oscar Mengo on the other hand, and what is Albacero at the back. Yeah, they organized, and then they had a strong centre forward, Ace.
Yeah, he was very fast.
Yeah, he was the first. When we had training sessions, after the training session, I made then running sprints, and there were three players who were two players who were faster than me. It was Ace
Kamasaran was also fast.
and Kamasarandu, and the third one was me. And so we practiced also sprints and acceleration, and we had a lot of things to do that they never heard before. And that was the spirit of the team, playing on the ground, exercising, being fit, the whole body being fit. I made physical trainings with them. And then after the training, after the games, we were together in a house in Kadatura and sometimes on my house. So it's a team spirit. Yeah? It was all everybody was convinced that we are a good team. That's important. It's mentally, yeah. Not only physically, mentally, it's also very important, yeah.
Now, last night when I was thinking, because when I knew that I will be interviewing you.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking about your journey, and I realized that you played a major role in the development of Namibian football. What led to the introduction of multiracial football because of your involvement with African Stars during the height of apartheid, where you coached black team, you started playing against the white teams, and I think the white players also started to get the feeling that, no man, we want to play against these guys, man. There's nothing wrong playing against black people. They started putting pressure on the authorities and so on. I think you played a very important role in the development of Namibian football, and your name will go down in the history of Namibian football as a hero. So,
yeah, thank you very much.
and I think with that, we have come to the end of another edition of African Stars Club Legends with a legend of African Stars, the man who laid the foundation for African Stars, and his name will never be erased from the history of African Stars. Thank you very much, Dieter.
Yeah, okay. I just want to add one sentence. I was asking Germany, what do you remember most of your being a coach in Namibia? In Southwest Africa, I said, okay, you won't believe it, but it's Willy Vrida. Why? Willy Vrida named his first son right after me, Dieter Vrida. He was born on the 1st and the 4th of November, 1978. Dieter Rida. And he was at my home as a baby, and he learned swimming in my home pool. And then he moved down to South Africa and was a good swimmer in Johannesburg. So that's what it's very thankful that Willie named his son after me. So it's very nice for me to have this friend of mine, and he is now godfather of my eldest grandchild, and his wife is godmother of my second eldest grandchild. And they are very often in us in Germany, or we are in Cape Town and visit them, and that was very good for me. Yeah.
That's great. But one last question. Did you use Muti? You know, during those days, a lot of teams were using what they call black magic. Did you, at some stage, were you exposed to using Muti, what they call black magic? Go to the changing room, the guys are putting some funny stuff in the trousers or whatever, put things on their boots.
No. You see, I was educated by my parents as a liberal man, and so I said everybody must look for his own future. Nothing about black or white. Everybody has to go his own way and has to find out what's the best for him and his family and for his group. So
So you were never exposed to these witchcraft things, what they call Muti,
no.
to win matches.
No. I
No external forces.
no.
Okay, no mistake.
No, it's just normal.
Nothing.
Yeah. No, thank you very much again. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yo.